Hey buddy, Jiren from Britical Saiyans here, and today I'm going to be going through my Ultimate Box Jiren deck profile. So, my version of this has kind of gone different to what most people do. They try to run both Jirens. I'm focusing more on filling up the drop, just because of what this guy does and what one of the other Jirens does, so it just makes life simpler. Anyway, so starting with leader, here's the auto ability of when this card attacks the leader card, you may choose one of the universe 11 in your hand, place it in the drop. If you do, draw 2 cards. So obviously filling up that drop zone for his abilities and other abilities, which is very useful. Drawing 2 so you can get rid of something you don't need, whether it be like the 12 drop because you can see it early you didn't charge it, or whatever it be. So then we go on to his Awake side, which is exposed to power Jiren. He does awaken by an attack of 2 energy, but that's kind of becoming a standard with leaders, and probably better than drawing 2. So, yeah. But yes, so when it attacks, he draws a card, and he has the active main. So you choose 9 Universe 11 cards you drop and send them to the warp, and then this guy gains quadruple strike for the turn. So obviously we fill up the drop by doing his first ability, and then we can use, we can get rid of 9 after playing some other cards out. So we play stuff that requires a certain drop, then we get rid of them, and it's just some quad strike pressure. So you can draw immediately on his attack, so if your opponent has negated, it's just immediate combo fodder hopefully. And yeah, so we'll get into the deck. As always, we like to start with the extra cards. So we have 3 copies of Coquette Zone. So this is just the Universe 11 negate. So negate the attack. If you lose the Universe 11, choose one of your opponent's back cards, which is the rest. It's just handy to stop an extra attack coming your way. I will say, because I'm just going into it now, we have 2 copies of Flying Nimbus. So Nimbus obviously being kind of the best negate for yellow, even with time magic out. So counter, negate the attack, then you may place 1 yellow card from hand to drop. If you do so, your opponent can only attack 1 more time with battle cards for the duration of the turn. Because they both stop another attack, you could switch this round. So I am honestly thinking dropping a Coquette for a Nimbus, but at the same time you can do 2 Nimbus and 3 Coquette. It's just personal preference. So, and next we have part of the very, very small blue engine, 3 copies of Sensu Bean. So obviously, active battle, choose one of your own, choose 1 card that gains 5k power, and then switch 2 energy back to active. So in this deck you consume a lot of energy, so you kind of need that support. And because we're not a Yellow Shenron leader, you can't really play Personal Ambition. Or just Shenron leader in general. And then there's the final part of the blue engine, 2 copies of Objection. So you can use it to add 1 card from hand to energy, but in all honesty, if you see it, you just chuck it into a blue. And yeah. So that's the extra cards and the blue part of the deck. Not much to say on that. So going to the battle cards, we have 4 copies of our 1-drop topper. So he's the 1-drop searcher for the deck. You look at top 3, add Universe 11, shuffle deck. I'd go into it, but that's basically what all 1-drops do nowadays. If they don't help you awaken, they help you find something. So we have 2 copies of the 2-drop Caring Mother Videl. So, bit of a random tech. I put it in just to build up some hand, because it's the active main, switches to rest, draw a card, and choose one of your battle cards that gains 5k power for the duration of the turn. So, if you have 2 energy spare and you want to put some pressure on, you just play the Videl, you can draw a card, you can give 5k to something that's already hitting hard. Or maybe it's just the push it needs to be able to beat the leader up. Or you can just target herself just to draw a card. Just saying. So yeah, small tech there, and obviously expendable yellow card. We have, so going into super combos, just to get them out of the way, we have 2 copies of Divine Cry Beerus and 2 copies of Key Bomb Support Coquette. So Coquette is the actual super combo for the deck, because if you're Legion Universe 11 you have 5 less life, you can draw a card and gain 10,000 combo power. The Beerus one is from Rakka's Revival, so it's auto sparking 5 when you combo with it if your leader's yellow, draw a card. I added it because we're fueling the drop in this deck. You can't stay on the unawakened side of your leader until you've hit a good number of Universe 11 in there. You're sending stuff off, so all of your opponents starving you and you can't awaken yourself. It's just a handy super combo you can use if you're not at 5 life. So it's very much a tech play. 2 each of them, you can change out however you want to. I'm probably just going to keep it like that, because then I can have an even chance to do both. We have 4 copies of Hero Combination Kunshi. So this is the Self-Awakening in the deck. So active main once per turn, choose 1 card in life out of your hand. If another Universe 11 is in your battle area, choose one of your opponent's battle cards with 4 less, that cost 4 less, and switch it to rest. You don't have to have another card to activate this guy, so if he's the only thing, you can just be like, oh, take a life. Just because I can. So, because it does say if another. It doesn't say, you can only activate this effect if there is another. So, we have 3 copies of Hero Combination Vone. So he's just 2 drop 10k permanent. If you have another Universe 11, he gains 5, so it becomes 15. And the auto of at the end of your turn switches to active mode. So it's just a nice little attacker, and you can call him off Topo. And if Topo plays it in rest, you're just like, oh, end of my turn. I'm going to recover it anyway. So it's not a big loss. We have 4 copies of Hero Combination Zoirei. So he's the blocker in this deck, or the main blocker. And if you have another Universe 11 in play, this can't be carried once per turn. Well, by battle once per turn. So you can just block with him, he stays alive. Your opponents have to go into them again. It stops things that would deal damage by killing a battle card. So like the new Yamcha, there's 2 Gohans that do that. So it's just a nice way to stop those things. And I have done it to people who are trying to do effect damage. So it's really funny. So going into the 3 drops, we have 2 copies of Hero Combination Kettle. Can't bring that in so it's not as bright. So he has Barrier, and if you have 2 or more Universe 11 other than this guy in your battle area, he gains 5,000 and Double Strike. So 20 Double Strike that can come out quite cheaply is really nice. There's only 2 of him because it's just little, it's not very important to the deck. So you could potentially just drop him, but at the same time, because he can come out with Barrier, it means that your opponent has to beat into him, so you can make them waste an attack. We have 2 copies of Swift Warrior Dispo, or Not Beerus as we like to call him. So he has the auto of after you combo with this guy, if your Leader's Universe 11 comes out and rest. Again, only 2 of him because it's not necessary to the deck. Because we're going from the drop build now instead of the board Jiren, it means that we don't need, if we were going for the board Jiren, there'd be 3 to 4 of him because he can just come out and be something on the board, but we're not bothered by that, so it's just a nice little way to stop an attack. We also have 3 copies of Zarbon Emperor's Attendant. So set 1, so it's a very odd card. It has the auto of during your opponent's turn when you combo with this card, choose which one of your battle cards switch to active mode. So this is a way to save something big that you're going to use, or quick flash of an example. This guy's a blocker, but he hits hard when he comes out into play if you do it right. So it's a way of using them. It's a way of using a Zoiray twice as a blocker. If you've got the big gun out, it's a way of saving that because your opponent will try to kill it if it doesn't kill them. And if you'll go for the board presence version of Jiren, this guy is very handy because it saves your board, which means you can use playing Jiren's much quicker. Otherwise you are having to build up again. Whereas you can be like, oh no, I'll save this guy for you. So moving on to the 4-drops, we have 4 copies of Ally of Justice Toppo. So this guy is very good in both builds of the deck. It's just like a really good powerhouse. So when you play this card, if you lead Universe 11, look at 10 cards from the top of your deck, choose up to 2 Universe 11 with Fearless NG, play them in rest mode, then shuffle the deck. So it's just a way to build board and get up things that you need. You can play the 1-drop, you can play a super combo, you can play Zoiray, Bone, just to untap it. So, and there's new Toppo that goes with this guy, so we need him for that. And we have a singular copy of Infinite Alertness Dispo. So it's 4-drop, 20k in blocker. He has opponent of, if there are 4 more Universe 11 in your drop, reduces cost by 2. Well, reduces his cost in hand by 2, so it becomes a 2-drop. And the auto ability of at the end of turn switch to active mode. So he works in both builds of the deck. Kind of like him more in this one because of the cheaper cost, so you could potentially bring them out a lot quicker. And the fact that you can just go attack, restand makes them good with the board presence version of the deck. I only have one, so I'm only running one. If I had more, I'd probably run like 2 to 3 of this guy, maybe instead of the other dispo. So it's quite fluid. So going into the 5-drop of the deck, there's 3 copies of Toppo Unleashed. So this guy came in the Ultimate Box with the Jiren. He's EX evolve by paying 1G and milling the top 3 cards of your deck, so he evolves onto this guy. He has Barrier and Blocker, so obviously a reason to use Zarbon, just to get a 25k blocker. And he has the auto ability of, when a card evolves into this card, if your leader card is Universe 11 and you have 8 or more Universe 11 in your drop, draw 2, and this gains double strike and critical for the turn. So it becomes a 25k double strike and crit, which obviously is worse than just to play another double strike for your opponent. You put more into him just to make sure it goes through. If you don't want to do that, or like you don't hit 8, you can just use him as a 25k blocker. So he has quite a lot of use, and because we're going by drop zone, it's easy to get his effect off. And finally, we have 4 copies of our 12-drop Jiren Universe's Strongest. So we're running 4 because if we see him early, we charge him / dump him through effect, so it means we can actually play him out. He has Deflect, so he can't be affected by counter play skills, so he can't be crushed, balled, or Cold Bloodlust. Doesn't mean he can't be negated because of Deflect, it's just counter play skills only. So have to put that out there. He has Quad Strike, so if he hits, he does 4 damage to your opponent. And 2 permanent skills. First one is, if there are 9 or more Universe 11 in your drop, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 6, so it just becomes the 6 yellow energy here. Which is obviously why I've gone for focusing more on him, because I'm fueling the drop, I'm dumping cards, I'm milling cards, comboing. And his secondary permanent is, when this card during battles when this card attacks, your opponent cannot activate, counter or blocker. So he's a huge threat, he's 40k, he can't be blocked, he can't be countered, and he does 4 damage. You just combo into him if you can help it, to make sure it goes through. Your leader can do quad strike as well after you've played him, because you're focusing on your drop. It's easy to bring him out as well, and gives your leader the quad strike. So that's what I like to call the drop Jiren. Anyway, so that is my deck profile on the Ultimate Box Jiren. Please do leave your thoughts in the comments. I'm always interested to read them. If you have other ways you build this deck, I'd like to hear them, because it's just good for me, and it's good to like talk with you guys as well about the strategies. And as always, we will see you next time. Bye.